The stars were quiet that day, but not empty. A small human ship floated just outside the Galactic Council's main station. Its name was Hope Runner, and it came with a message. The crew had traveled far through dark and dangerous space to bring one warning. Something terrible is coming. Inside the council chamber, tall and strange alien leaders sat in their shining seats. Some were covered in feathers, others had hard shells, and one even had no face, only lights. They watched the human transmission and laughed. A large alien with golden skin, the leader of the council, waved a hand. Humans always think they are important, but they are young, emotional, and dramatic. The message from the humans was simple. They had seen a fleet, big, fast, and unlike anything before. Ships without names, signals, or life signs. Whole colonies in deep space had gone silent after these ships passed by. The humans believed it was not just an attack, but something much worse. They asked the council to take action, but the council had their own ideas. "Perhaps it's a pirate group," one alien said. "Or maybe humans just want more power," said another. Only one voice in the chamber, a small gray alien named Velen, seemed worried. "We should listen," Velen whispered. "Humans don't scare easy. If they're afraid, we should be too." Still, the council voted. The decision was clear. No, action would be taken. Back on Earth, the leaders received the council's reply. No help, no support, no belief. Commander Rhea, a calm and sharp-minded woman, stood silently in the command center. "They will regret this," she said. Around her, giant screens showed strange patterns in the stars. Ships that came and vanished in seconds, signals that made no sense. Something was out there, and it was moving closer. The humans didn't wait. While the council did nothing, Earth began to prepare. Secretly, they called their colonies back, built stronger defenses, and trained for war. They knew they were alone now. In deep space, far from any planet, a scout ship called Dawn Seeker found something terrifying. A station that once held 3,000 alien workers was now floating silently, broken into pieces. No blast marks, no heat, just silence, like something had erased all life without touching anything else. The crew of Dawn Seeker sent a message. "We found it. It's real." Then the signal went dead. When the council heard about the destroyed station, they began to worry. They sent a search team. The search team didn't find the enemy, but they did find a message, burned into the side of a wall in human letters. "We tried to warn you." Now, whispers spread through the council worlds. Fear began to grow. Could the humans be right? Some asked. But still, most leaders refused to believe. "It's just a game," they said, "a way to scare us into listening to them." Back on Earth, Commander Rhea stood before a map of the galaxy. Red dots showed the missing colonies, blue dots showed council patrols. But between them was a new kind of darkness, places where even light didn't return. "They're coming through the void," she said quietly, "not using normal space. That's why the council doesn't see them." Her second-in-command, Captain Singh, nodded. "And they're not attacking randomly. They're testing us, watching." Commander Rhea looked out the window at Earth's orbit. Dozens of human ships circled the planet. She had ordered all human scientists to work on new weapons. Engineers worked day and night. No one complained. Everyone knew this was not just a war. It was survival. The next week, another signal came. A council world named Terrion 5 had gone, silent. The council sent ships to check. They arrived to find empty cities, quiet streets, and no bodies. Not even bones. It was like the people had been pulled from reality. This time, the council did not laugh, but they still didn't ask humans for help. Pride stood in their way. On a hidden moon, far from both Earth and the council, a small human base received strange readings. A massive object was coming their way. No ID, no known drive, and no heat. Just cold. Dead cold. The human team powered up their defenses and sent one final message to Earth. We are not alone, and they are not peaceful. Then, silence. Commander Rhea read the message and closed her eyes. They didn't take us seriously, she said softly. So now we stopped talking. And so began a new phase of humanity's plan. No more warnings, no more diplomacy. They would protect their own. Whether the Council joined them or not, no longer mattered. In the darkness of space, something was watching, listening, waiting, and the humans were preparing. A bright green planet named Elvor 9 was one of the Council's oldest colonies. It had schools, families, and peaceful gardens. One morning, a patrol ship flew above it and saw nothing strange. But when it returned just 3 hours later, the planet was silent. The cities were there, the buildings stood, but not a single voice was heard. No bodies, no signs of a fight, just emptiness. The ship sent a message back to the Council. The planet is quiet, too quiet. It's like they vanished. The Council grew nervous. This was not a human colony. It was one of their own. Now they could not deny the danger. But still, many leaders believed it was a natural disaster or maybe a strange disease. They refused to believe it was an enemy, and definitely not the one humans had warned them about. Meanwhile, far away from Council space, humans had already changed their plans. Earth was no longer open. All messages from the Council were ignored. Colonies were moving quietly, away from shared borders. Ships were being built faster than ever. Soldiers trained in silence. Every human knew now, the Council would not save them. On Mars, inside a cold underground base, Commander Rhea watched the stars with sharp eyes. Her team had created a map of the missing planets, dots disappearing one by one, always in a strange pattern, like pieces being picked from a game board. We're not facing an army, Rhea said. This is a hunt, a test. Captain Singh frowned. Then why hasn't it attacked us yet? It's waiting, she answered, watching how we react and learning. Back in Council space, confusion and fear began to spread. Ships sent to investigate the quiet planets also stopped sending messages. Small fleets were destroyed, but no signs of battle were ever found. No damage, no escape pods, just silence. The Council began to panic. They tried to contact Earth again. We need your help, one message said. Another pleaded, if you have any more information, please share it. But Earth gave no answer. In a far-off region of space, a Council scout team found something strange, a human base on a dead moon. It had strong defenses, large weapons, and strange new technology, but it wasn't hiding. It was watching. One of the alien commanders, a four-eyed creature named Caven, landed his ship and walked toward the base. Human guards pointed weapons at him. He raised his arms. We mean no harm, he said. We just want to talk. A human officer stepped forward. We warned you. You didn't listen. Now we prepare. Alone. Caven looked at the walls of the base. Painted on them were words. No more talk. No more waiting. Earth stands alone. Back at the Council station, leaders argued loudly. Some wanted to make peace with humans again. Others thought Earth was hiding something. A few believed humans were behind the attacks. One leader screamed, "They want to scare us and take our power." Only Velen, the quiet gray alien, remained calm. They warned us, and we laughed. That was our mistake. Now, more planets began to vanish. Not just colonies, but full worlds. Even the Council's communication relays started to go dark. A powerful signal jammed their systems. No messages could escape once a planet was attacked. It was like the enemy wanted them to stay blind. One council fleet tried to set a trap. They waited near a small mining colony, hiding among the moons. But when the enemy arrived, it was already too late. The colony was gone before they could react. The enemy ships did not even see the council fleet. Or maybe they didn't care. That night, Commander Rhea stood in front of a screen showing the enemy's path. "They're avoiding us," she said. "They don't strike human colonies. Not yet. Why?" Captain Singh replied, "Maybe they see the council as weak, and us as a challenge." Rhea nodded. "Then we need to be ready. No more warnings. No more waiting. The storm is here." Suddenly, a new message arrived from the edge of the galaxy. A deep signal, old and cracked, from a long-lost human ship called the Horizon. It had vanished years ago. The signal was just 3 words. "They are coming." Then silence. A chill passed through every room on Earth. People stopped what they were doing. Even the soldiers stood still. Everyone understood. The silent storm had arrived, and this time, no one would be saved by diplomacy. Far beyond the stars, a shape moved through the dark. It had no name, no lights, no warmth, but it had one goal: to erase, not to win, but to erase everything. The council kept asking questions. The humans had found their answer. Now they were building a response, and it would be loud. The Galactic Council could no longer hide their fear. Too many planets had gone silent. Too many ships had vanished without a trace. What started as whispers of worry had now become loud arguments in the council chamber. "We need answers," one alien shouted. "Why is this happening? Who is doing this?" But no one had an answer. Finally, the council decided to send a high-ranking ambassador to Earth. Maybe the humans knew more. Maybe they had technology or secrets that could help. The ambassador, a tall alien with smooth silver skin named Raylan, was known for his calm voice and sharp mind. He arrived near Earth with 4 ships and a message of peace. When he entered Earth's orbit, what he saw shocked him. Hundreds of massive human warships were parked in space. New stations were under construction. Weapons were everywhere. Earth looked like a planet preparing for the end of the galaxy. Raylan sent a message to the humans. "We come in peace. We wish to speak." A reply came quickly. "You can land, but only you. No guards, no tricks." Raylan agreed. He landed in a wide-open field near a mountain base. 2 human soldiers met him. They were calm, but not friendly. He was taken to Commander Rhea. She stood in a dark room, staring at a screen full of red and blue dots. Without turning, she spoke. "You didn't listen. We warned you." Raylan tried to smile. "The council was wrong. We admit it now, but we need your help. Many lives can still be saved." Rhea turned to face him. "We gave the council every chance. You laughed. You ignored. Now you want help? When it's your people disappearing?" Raylan lowered his head. "Yes. We need you." There was silence in the room. Then Rhea spoke coldly. "Earth has decided. We will no longer send warnings. We will not ask, and we will not beg. We will fight. Alone, if we must." Raylan was surprised. "You would let the rest of the galaxy fall?" She walked toward him. "We warned you. You chose pride. Now we choose survival." When Raylan returned to the council, he gave his report. "Earth is preparing for war, not with us, but without us. They will fight this threat alone." The council was angry. "How dare they ignore us?" one leader shouted. "They are hiding something. Maybe they are the ones behind all this." Another alien stood up. "Maybe they caused the disappearances to scare us." Valen, the small gray alien who had always defended the humans, stood slowly. "You are blind. The humans begged us to listen. We mocked them. Now we ask for help, and they say no. Would we not do the same if we were them?" Still, many in the council refused to trust Earth. They decided to act. A small council fleet was ordered to stop the humans from expanding their military bases. "We must control them," said one commander, "for the safety of all." When the fleet arrived near a human outpost, they gave a simple command. "Power down your weapons. We will inspect your station." The reply came instantly. "Turn around. You have no right here." The council ships moved forward anyway. That was a mistake. In less than 10 minutes, the human defense systems activated. Laser beams, smart missiles, and hidden drones filled the sky. 3 council ships were destroyed. The rest fled in shock. A single message followed them. "This is our last warning. Stay away." Now the council was truly afraid. Not only was the enemy unknown and terrifying, but the humans had become stronger, colder, and more dangerous than ever before. They were no longer asking. They were giving orders. The council called for an emergency meeting. "We must make peace with Earth," Velen said. "We have no hope without them." But some still whispered lies. "Earth is the real threat," one said. "We must control them before it's too late." Back on Earth, Commander Rhea watched the council's messages pile up. Most were asking for talks. A few still made threats. She deleted them all. Captain Singh asked, "What if they attack again?" Rhea answered without emotion. "Then we defend. We will not kneel." Meanwhile, deep in space, a human scout ship picked up a strange signal. Not from the council, and not from any known source. It was old, broken, and full of static. But through the noise, one word kept repeating, "Harvest." The crew of the scout ship sent the signal to Earth, then turned to follow it. They vanished hours later. No wreckage was found. At the same time, one of the council's central planets, home to billions, suddenly went dark. No warning, no lights, just silence. The council cried out for help. Earth said nothing. Commander Rhea stood before her generals. "They didn't believe us. Now they beg. But the time for talk is over. We must act." And for the first time in history, humanity stopped talking. They started moving. The stars were not safe anymore. Every day, more systems vanished. Planets went quiet without fire or sound. The council had stopped sending ships. They had stopped searching. Now, they were just hiding. The enemy, whatever it was, had no name, no face, no message. It simply erased. But Earth did not hide. In deep space, near the dead zone where dozens of colonies had disappeared, a new kind of station floated, black as night, cold as steel, built by humans in complete silence. No light escaped it. No signals came from it. They called it Sentinel-1. Its job was simple: watch, record, and survive. Inside Sentinel-1, a team of only 10 people worked, in shifts. They barely spoke. Every sound was recorded. Every motion in space was logged. For 3 weeks, nothing happened. Then, on day 24th, something appeared. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a comet. It was something else. A shape made of darkness, shifting like smoke in space. No engines, no heat, no light. But it moved. The station's AI locked onto it. The humans didn't panic. They just watched. One soldier whispered, "Is that it?" The creature or object didn't attack. It simply passed by. As it moved, the station's cameras glitched, lights flickered. Systems went dark for 12 seconds. When power returned, one crew member was missing. No doors opened. No sounds were heard. He was just gone. The crew sent the message to Earth. Just 3 words. It found us. And then they blew up the station themselves. Earth had ordered it. If Sentinel-1 was ever touched, it must not be captured. The crew knew the price. They accepted. On Earth, Commander Rhea read the final report. Her face showed no fear, just cold focus. "Now we know," she said. "It's watching, testing, picking us apart." Captain Singh stepped forward. "What do we do?" Rhea gave a single order. "We hit back." For the first time, humans stopped waiting. They launched Operation Dark Lance, a secret plan to trap and study the enemy. 5 deep space mines were placed in known disappearance zones. Each one was filled with high-speed sensors, scanning tech, and hidden weapons. The traps were ready. The first mine went dark on day 3. When humans arrived to check, the mine was gone, but something was left behind. A signal, not human, not council. Just one word. Repeated again and again in a low, mechanical voice. Harvest. The council begged for updates. They begged for information. Earth said nothing. Across human colonies, the mood had changed. People no longer looked to the stars with wonder. Now, they looked with fire. Families trained with weapons. Children learned to fight. Factories built more ships than ever before. Earth's entire system had become one machine, with one purpose: survival through strength. In a secret base beneath the moon, human scientists worked day and night. They had taken pieces of broken enemy tech from the edge of destruction. Strange metals, alive yet dead, circuits that bent light, weapons that didn't fire bullets, but erased matter. They studied it, copied it, and made something new. Project Phantom was born, a ship like nothing before, small, fast, invisible, built not to run, but to follow. The Phantom was sent into the dark, chasing the source of the harvest signal. Days passed, then weeks. Finally, it found something, a graveyard of stars. Hundreds of ships floated there, from different races, some human, some council, some unknown, all dead. The Phantom's AI recorded everything, then sent the data back to Earth. In the middle of the graveyard was a giant structure, black, circular, spinning slowly. It looked like a machine, but it felt alive, like it was breathing space itself. The data was clear. This was the heart of the storm. Commander Rhea showed the recordings to her top officers. "This is where it begins," she said, "and maybe where it ends." Captain Singh stared at the black circle. "What is it?" Rhea's eyes were cold. A gate or a mouth. Back at the council, chaos grew. Entire sectors had stopped sending messages. Refugees flooded the remaining safe planets. Some council members blamed humans. Others begged Earth to lead. But Earth remained silent. Commander Rhea gave her final order to the human fleet. "No. More warnings. No more waiting. Prepare to strike." And so, Earth did what no one expected. They went into the storm. 5 fleets, 200 ships strong, moved toward the dead zone. They knew the risk. They knew they might not return. But they moved like a blade, silent, sharp, and ready. Across human space, one message was broadcast in every language. The Council didn't believe us. The galaxy ignored us. But we will not vanish. We are humanity. We are the fire. And we do not run. In the center of darkness, something stirred. And for the first time, it looked back. The human fleets entered the dead zone without lights, without signals, without fear. 5 fleets, 200 warships, no music, no speeches, just silence and preparation. Every pilot knew what they were doing. Every captain understood the cost. This wasn't a mission to return from. This was a line drawn in space. The enemy had taken enough. As they moved deeper, stars grew fewer. The darkness wasn't just black, it was alive. Sensors glitched, Lights dimmed. Still, the humans pressed forward. At the center of the dead zone, they saw it. The machine, a black spinning circle bigger than any moon, with sharp edges like broken glass. Around it floated thousands of crushed ships from all over the galaxy. Human ships, council ships, unknown ships, all twisted, hollow, lifeless. A silent graveyard. Captain Singh stood on the bridge of the HSS Vengeance, eyes locked on the target. "That's it," he said. "That's where it began." "Commander," Ria's voice echoed across the fleet. "This is not a battle for planets. This is not about politics. This is for every life they erased. We fight for the living and the lost." Then the order came. Attack. The first wave of missiles launched. Smart rounds, silent, invisible, fast. They struck the machine's edge, sending out bursts of energy. No sound in space, but the shock waves were felt. Pieces broke off, light cracked across its surface. Then, the machine responded. Out of the black hole came shapes, not ships, not creatures, something in between. Long, sharp, flowing like metal snakes. They moved without engines, without signals, pure instinct and death. The battle began. Human ships, fired from all sides. Turrets glowed red. Drones swarmed. Railguns thundered. The enemy was fast, but humans had learned. Every ship used the new tech they had stolen and copied. Shields bent. Weapons adapted. AI fought AI. Still, the enemy was strong. One human ship was torn in half by a single touch. Another was swallowed by a living cloud of dark nanobots. Screams filled the comms for just seconds before silence returned, but humans didn't stop. They pushed forward inch by inch toward the machine. On Earth, the battle played live in war rooms. Families watched in silence. People lit candles. Some prayed. Others stood in streets, holding each other, waiting. Then something changed. A signal broke through. The machine spoke. Not in words, but in raw thought. Every human heard it in their minds. "You are loud. You are dangerous. You must be erased." The voices made some scream. Others dropped to the floor. But the commanders held firm. Commander Ria, still calm, sent one message back. Through the fleet. "We are not noise. We are the storm." And then they released the lance. It was Earth's final weapon. A spear of pure energy, charged for days, hidden in the center of the HSS Deliverance. It needed to hit the core. Only one shot. As the Deliverance moved closer, enemy creatures swarmed it. But the ship did not stop. It used its own engines as weapons, burning enemies in its path. Inside, the crew was silent. Every hand was steady. They had trained for this. As they reached firing distance, the captain whispered, "For Earth." The lance fired, a beam of blue-white. Light cut through the black machine. Time seemed to stop. The stars dimmed. The machine cracked in two, and then it screamed. Not a sound, but a feeling, pure rage, pure fear. The enemy ships paused. The living metal shapes shook. Some even fell apart. The humans didn't waste time. "All fleets," Ria ordered, "strike everything that moves." And so they did. Missiles, beams, drones, every weapon fired at once. The sky lit up. The machine broke apart piece by piece, until only burning fragments remained. The enemy stopped. What was left drifted away like smoke on water. The silence returned. The battle was over, but no one cheered. Not yet. They counted their dead. 43 ships gone, thousands lost. But they had stopped the machine. For now. Back on Earth, the people cried. Some shouted, others just watched. The stars. They knew the cost. They also knew this was not the end. In the council chambers, silence ruled. They had watched. They had waited. Now they had seen. One council member whispered, "They did it. The humans stopped it." Another replied, "We couldn't. They did." Valen, the quiet gray alien, stood up. "Maybe now we listen. Maybe now we follow." But it was too late for peace talks. Earth was already moving again. New ships were being built, bigger, faster, stronger. Because humans knew something the Council didn't. The machine they destroyed was not the only one. It was just the scout, and now the real threat would come. Weeks passed since the great battle in the dead zone. Earth had won, but no one smiled. The machine was gone. The enemy ships were destroyed. Yet something still felt wrong. The silence didn't feel like peace. It felt like a trap. Commander Rhea sat in the war room watching reports from across the galaxy. Human scouts were returning with strange news: gravity shifts, dead planets, stars flickering for no reason. Entire moons had vanished, as if pulled out of space. Something was coming. Something big. On Mars, Project Skynet had picked up a new signal. Not like before. This one was deep, old. A repeating pattern coming from outside the edge of known space. The signal was strong, but not fast. Like a drumbeat getting louder. Boom, boom, boom. Earth's top scientists studied it. One AI said it wasn't a message. It was a footstep. The Council, after weeks of silence, finally reached out. They asked for a meeting. This time, Earth agreed. In a giant chamber above Jupiter, Earth and the Council met face to face. Commander Rhea stood tall. Her face was calm, but her eyes were sharp. Velen, the gray alien, spoke first. "We were wrong. You tried to warn us. Now we ask for your help." Rhea nodded. "Help will not be free. Humanity no longer fights for anyone who won't stand beside us." Another alien leader said, "Do you know what's coming?" Rhea replied, "We don't know what, but we know where." She pressed a button. A 3D image of a star system appeared. It showed a black sphere growing near its sun, swallowing light. "We call it the mouth," she said. "It eats stars." The room went silent. The Council had no answer, no plan, no weapons strong enough to fight something that could erase suns. But Earth had already started building. Deep in Saturn's orbit, humans were creating something massive, Project Titan, a new kind of ship. Part battleship, part factory, part carrier. It would carry the last hope of Earth. At the same time, Earth began training non-humans. The Council had no army, so humans began teaching them. Soldiers, engineers, pilots, aliens who once laughed. And humans now stood in lines, learning how to fire human rifles and fly human drones. Still, time was short. One human scout ship, HSS Phoenix, went on a deep mission beyond the dark edge. Its goal, find the source of the signal. It traveled for 10 days through silence. Then it found something, a structure the size of a gas giant, floating in the void. No windows, no light. Just layers and layers of sharp metal, turning slowly. The ship recorded the structure and turned. To leave. It never made it back. One message reached Earth before it vanished. The pilot's voice was calm, but cold. "We found the hive." Back at Earth, scientists reviewed the footage. They found shapes moving inside the metal layers. Thousands of them, maybe millions. Rhea stared at the screen. "So many," she whispered. "Captain." Singh said, "That's not an army. That's a species." She looked at him. "No, that's a god." The enemy wasn't a race. It wasn't a group. It was a living machine civilization, old, vast, and hungry. It didn't want planets. It didn't want peace. It wanted silence, total silence. A galaxy with no life, just cold metal and quiet. The Council begged Earth to lead. This time, Earth agreed. Across every system, human-built stations lit up. Signals were sent. Ships launched. Thousands of soldiers moved into position. Operation Final Dawn had begun. The plan was bold. Strike the enemy hive before it moved again. A full fleet, every race together. Earth would lead, but the whole galaxy would fight. For the first time, humans weren't alone. But something else happened. The enemy spoke. A signal broke into every channel. It wasn't words. It was images, visions. Every being saw the same thing. Their home planet dark and cold, oceans dry, skies black, people frozen in time, the galaxy dead. The message was clear. This is your future. Commander Rhea stood in front of a camera, broadcasting to every screen across every planet. Her voice was steady. We've seen your vision. Now see ours. She raised her fist. We are humanity. We were ignored. We were mocked. But we survived. We learned. We adapted. And now, she looked straight into the lens, now we fight for everyone. The message ended. The galaxy held its breath. At the edge of space, the enemy hive began to move, and behind it, stars began to vanish.